For the team, I mean, for a neutral, they're so exciting to watch, and obviously, Fiji as a country is just so passionate about rugby sevens, and they really reflect that with how they get behind their team.
Nelson Oyu will captain the Kenyan side. Herman Huma had a good start to the day. There they are, loving it. Those blue flags, the blue wigs. They take the corners of the stadium. They know they're sevens rugby. They know that's where the tries are scored. And first thing in the morning here on Saturday, they come and sit in those corner seats and own them for the whole weekend. Francisco Gonzalez in charge of this one. There they are. Fiji beat England in their first match, 27 points to 17. Of course, come off their gold medal performance in Singapore. And it will be Nathuku to get us underway with his right boot. Fiji in white jerseys. Jerry Tuai interestingly starts this one on the bench. There's a chip and chase. No sweeper at home for Kenya. He's got all day to pick this up, and he takes it on the run. Nathuku starts the game and ends it. First try for Fiji.
What?
Nathuku, he doesn't need half an invitation, does he? Spotting there was no sweeper, so much space in behind, and I mean, it's part of the threat that Fiji provides. You can't cover for everything. You know they could beat you out wide, they could beat you with offloads through the middle, and then Nathuku showing that the chip and chase is also a threat too, so it just makes it so difficult because they've got so many ways they can beat you.
Well, the fingertip pickup there, great shot from our crew. Nathuku got 2 tries against England in the first match, and giving his thanks, he gets his third here against Kenya. Less than a minute into play.
Brought up his 100th try earlier this morning, and showing he's in a rush to get his second 100 going.
So first real possession for the Kenyans. Kumwa goes down. One of the few teams on the series that do really match up physically with the Fijians. Fiji off their feet, not supporting their way to the breakdown. And the Kenyans, you think, in that physical presence anyways, Madison, have an opportunity to match up.
Kenya always brings such a physical challenge. You know that that's the first thing you have to beat when you go against them. And they'll know that that's an area they can bring. But it's also Fiji matching that strength. And so it's how Kenya can use other assets to beat them.
Well, Kevin Wakesa gets pushed across into touch. Anya goes into touch. So Bakar Nabili, one of the bigger men out here. Gold medalist, of course, from Tokyo. As Fiji have won both the gold medals being offered up in Rio and Tokyo. Wonderful scenes. That win, of course, under Gareth Faber, their Welsh coach. And now they have an Englishman in Ben Gollings, who's had a pretty good start to his coaching career with 1 gold medal and 0 losses so far. Well, with men like this on your side, it's not hard to win gold medals. Fantastic step. Individual effort. Just clinical finishing from Nanduvalo.
Nanduvalo doing so well, just a slight step inside. The Kenyan defender slips across the front of him, and the Kenyan centre not able to get across and cover that gap. And that's what you've got to be careful as a wing. You're taught, show them to the outside, make sure that's where you're pushing the attacker to go. Because if you slide across too fast, you're making it very difficult for your centre to close that gap.
Only the second event for Nanduvalo was in Singapore last week, but really featured well. The New Zealanders and the Aussies went to Fiji for camps before that Singapore, and he really put on a show, especially against the Aussies, going 100 meters in one of their games. Fijians love it right now. Well taken restart by Anya. Willessa working that narrow channel again. That one's tapped, but it's caught. Risky maneuver, risk reward is there. And there's going to be a scrum to Kenya.
It can be so difficult against the likes of Fiji because you're like, we need to make something happen, we need to do something exceptional. When those moments when you're chasing that exceptional moment, that's when you're more likely to give them to turn over possession, create an error. Sometimes it's, you really need to go down to basics. Don't need to force anything exceptional, but just go through phases, maintain possession, and then we can put them under pressure.
They're one of those teams, aren't they, that's a milestone. The Irish beat them last week, and it was a kind of an indication of where their program's come. First time ever the Ireland beat Fiji. Right now, Kenya trying to get a victory. Off and running is Anya. He's got that long stride. A little bit desperate there as he throws that one in field, but it goes forward.
Yeah, he looks like he's making ground, but he's really just running sideways across the face of the Kenyan defense. He sees he's getting too close to the sideline, throws an aimless pass back inside, and again, you can't afford to make mistakes against Fiji. If you give them possession, they're going to make you pay. Big thing we always used to emphasize is we want to maintain possession, we want to starve them of the ball. If they don't have the ball the whole game, they can't score. So that's what you want to do against Fiji, and Kenya really making too many mistakes so far in this one.
Fine. No, don't touch each other. Set.
Pumwa there on the near side. So he stands up in the scrum, but Fiji secure the ball. Around the back. Good work off the ball, and that's created the extra set of hands. He wants him to come inside, but he keeps it. Fantastic play from Bukarana. It's knocked on. Both sides have knocked it on, so we'll come back. Kenya ball.
It was a good set-piece play from Fiji there. The centre come on a short line and the fly-half wrap around the back. A little simple. Kenya might think that they shouldn't have been sucked in quite as easily, but the scramble defense was good. We saw really good communication between the sweeper and his other chasing defenders to reorganize that. And that can be so difficult, that communication on the run. You see him there pointing to say, hey, let's get our line and reorganize and reintegrate it, and then we can get back into position.
Bukiyara also in his second event, a debutant last week. Plays for the Army. Nice little move from him. I'm sure there's tons more to come for him in this famous white jersey. Kenya with an opportunity at the end of the first half. Down 2 tries. Anya's been very active here, but doesn't have a lot to show for it. Immediately on the ball are Fiji. Kenya wide and deep at the moment. Fiji fairly well connected in their defensive wall, just holding that shape. And even taking away the offload lanes, they shoot up. Oh, finally a gap. Rumbling through it is Wakesa. He's still going, the big man. Finally brought down 15 meters out. Kenya looking. Coming back hard. Billy O. Turman Humor, sorry. They're keeping that ball alive, but intercepted. Well, this is frantic stuff, and I gotta say it plays into the Fijians' hands. They love it when the game breaks down. Look at this. And listen to this crowd. Fiji are up and running here in Vancouver. Joshua Makurabili, try for Fiji.
I mean, that's the full turnaround of Rugby Sevens. 1 second you think Kenya are in, and what, scarcely 10 seconds later, Fiji are strolling in under the post. There's probably no team who's been better organized and better drilled and had more practice at infiltrating offload channels than Fiji. They're constantly doing it against themselves in practice, just getting in those channels, stopping the offloads from coming, and it really pays off there.
What a great shot there after the interception. All 3 of the Fijian players calling for the ball, knew that the counterattack was on. There's the extras in front of the post. They brought the stadium to life. Fiji doing what they do best, leading 21 points to 0 over Kenya. what a wonderful moment. These big men. You've seen that a few times, the big men coming down at you.
Yeah, it can be a scary, menacing sight. You almost feel like you're hearing the shaking of the ground as some of these guys run at you. And then the worst part is then they step you, so you're like, oh man, you can't defend. You're sitting back on your heels because you're bracing for that contact. These guys are just so fleet and light of foot as well. It is really so impressive and so exceptional.
Well, we're here in Vancouver. HSBC Canada 7's, and up next, a pretty big match for the locals. Canada taking on South Africa, and there is Phil Berna and his troops. 11 minutes time, they'll be taking it out here. The last time these two teams played with a full series, they stole bronze off South Africa. It's a very different look team there. The Canada fans will be hoping they get a result. Right now it's Kenya kicking off. They're down at the moment to Fiji, and that's not going to help them get back into this one.
I feel like I just keep saying this, but we've seen this so many times today. Teams just making this basic error on the kickoff, and it really is unforgivable. You're trying to go too perfect, and it ends up really costing your team. You'd be better off just putting it slightly longer, getting that chase on. These athletic forwards, they can get 15 meters down the field. You don't have to put it in 10.
Set move from the Fijians. Lots of movement behind the scrum. Kenya's up to it for the moment. Constantly keeping that ball alive. He talked about it, Madison. It's so difficult to play against. You don't get a breather in defense. And powering through the tackle. The big leg lift from Vanakaivata. Fresh off the bench. Gets his moment under the poles.
Fiji, they're so good at changing the point of the attack. You think they're attacking you one place, the defense starts to converge there, and then they quickly offload out of that and shift it across to another part of the field, and it makes it really, really difficult. We used to emphasize just keeping your defensive integrity intact and together as much as you possibly could, and then shifting and forcing them to throw one more pass, constantly forcing that to happen.
Well, he knew he was in here. He got a little close to the end zone. I'm not sure if he got that ball on the line. Well, he's okay. He rolled it back for his kicker. And the extras. So normal service resumed for Fijians.
Fiji doing very well in this game. I mean, it's amazing. Is Jerry Tuai still on the bench? He might have come in now, but didn't start the first game, didn't start this one, and Fiji was still 2 resounding victories. That's pretty amazing, and a testament to the depth and talent they have on this squad.
Yeah, 2-time Olympic gold medalist. World Rugby 7's Player of the Year, Jerry Tuai, not needed in this 28-point onslaught of Kenya.
Time on.
Great shot, gives you some perspective of the ground level. That one's batted back. Bounces kindly for Wangila. He's off the bench as well, trying to provide a spark. Just looking for something are the Kenyans. He started the day really well, beating the U.S. 19 points to 17. But struggled to find any offense here against Fiji. This is better for them. They've gone forward. It's 40 meters out now for the Fijian line. Route 1 from Anya.
Stay behind. Yes.
Billy Odhiambo trying to step around. They're going backwards now. That's good work from Humwa. But just the physical presence again from Fiji. Jars the ball loose. And look at this response. Oh, off the ground. Fantastic line of support. Straight through the middle. Rathaku, he does it all by himself.
Another try from Fiji, and it came from that turnover. They're forcing pressure with their defense, getting the ball, and then immediately attacking. Looked like Rathaka maybe could have made this slightly more easy, could have got there slightly more easily. But it starts there. See, Kenya are attacking, they're doing well, but in looking for that extra offload, the mistake comes, and Fiji make you pay when you make mistakes against them.
Beautiful pass off the ground. Good linear support in behind the ball.
Yeah, Fiji, they're so good at flooding these offload channels. As soon as one guy makes half a break even, you've got 3 or 4 players surrounding him, so that these offloads, they often look like they're just kind of tossed and the player couldn't possibly have seen them, but there always is a Fijian there to take it.
And so often they hit you, you turn the ball over. They do it in one possession. Kenya really at 6s and 7s right now, not able to get their units working, not able to get their hands on the ball. This is daunting. It's those first tackles they're stepping out of far too easy for Fiji. That pass doesn't go to Hammond, doesn't seem to matter with the flying Fijians. Stepping hard is Ratu Rathiri. Also being able to use their bench here is Bengallings. And a fair steal there, good response from Kenya. Off they go. Looking to take the goose egg off the board. 2.5 minutes to play. Again, the skills letting him down. Knock on deep there.
Yeah, immediately getting on the front foot, trying to put some pace into it. I like to see that enthusiasm. It'll be easy for the heads to drop with this scoreline. Kenya still chasing the game, still chasing points, but once again, mistakes really costing them and turning the ball over and giving Fiji the chance to get right back on attack. We see Kenya actually have more carries than Fiji, so they've had the ball more in this game, taking it more into contact. But you see the errors, 5, that's just too many. It feels like every time they've made one of those errors, Fiji have scored.
Hold on.
Uptight and personal in this scrum here. Get a bit of a taste of what it's like in there. Ah, the no-look pass. It's lost forward.
More advantage.
Just such confidence on the ball, Madison. Look at the supreme, love of the game and just love shipping that ball around.
It is absolutely amazing. I mean, as someone who is not blessed with the Fijian rugby brain, it's like, how on earth could he have known where he needed to throw the ball? Yet every time they do it, the man's there and he's often hitting it at pace and accelerating through a gap. It's a joy to watch and absolutely amazing how these Fijians are able to find those offload runners, hitting the ball at pace even when they can't see them.
Terry Willagi Patterson there with a deft touch, a late addition to the squad. Kenya with just over a minute looking for their first score. Break 1 tackle, they break 2 tackles, they break 3 tackles. Finally, Alvin Marube scores for Kenya.
Marube with a moment of individual magic, the double step and the fend, and then he has the pace to go past Jerry Tuai on the outside. No mean feat in itself. And Kenya have promised this. They've shown they've got attacking, good, threatening ball carriers, but too many times today the Fijians have been able to scramble and force the extra pass, but there Marube able to go in, score a nice try. And again, that could prove important. Kenya did the job earlier today. They've got to do the job in the next game later on to secure that second quarterfinal spot, but points could prove important.
So 33 points up for Fiji. 5 for Kenya as the conversion just slides wide. We will have the ball reintroduced in the half. 3 defenders beaten, that's the key stat there. That's a positive going into their final full match here in Vancouver. Kenya take the ball, but we're going to attempt this here. They're one of the few teams that doesn't kick the ball off the park. They keep going. I think I'm going to get this wrong here. They're going to go. You heard them. They want to play. They've waited a long time to be back on the series. We started last week in Singapore, and the show continues here in Vancouver. The bounce and the bash and the run from Josevani Sano. He's finally stopped, but he keeps the ball alive. Matana, his first ever try on the World Series. Congratulations, Jeremiah Matana.
Congrats to Matana. You love to score your first try on the World Series. It's always a special moment. And as you said, Fijians bring such enthusiasm and energy. They're 14 minutes into this game. They're 30-odd points up, and yet they're still flying around the field, throwing magical offloads, and having the energy to go right to the end. It's a testament to the energy and the joy they bring to the world of Rugby Sevens.
Well, they find inspiration from all places. The fans